morning, everybody, and welcome to Friday Morning Devotions. Glad to have you with me this morning. Appreciate you spending time with me as we spend time together trying to grow our faith and grow how we walk with Christ every day. Hope you're having a good Friday morning. Looks like it's going to be a sunshiny day here in Marion, Indiana. Don't know how it is in your place, but here it's nice and sunshiny. Going to get some outside work done tonight, looks like. If the weather seems to hold out like it's supposed to. A few afternoon thunderstorms in case you're looking for the full forecast. So that's the way it looks like for the day. As we get started this morning and get things rolling with Friday Morning Devotion, tell me this for your question this week. What is your favorite TV program of all time? Your favorite TV program of all time. I was trying my best to come up with what I think is my favorite TV program. And so I came up really with two. Sorry. I get to cheat because I'm the one asking the question. My first is I go all the way back to the original Star Trek series. That's a couple of days ago. I mean, that's like forever ago, maybe. Back when William Shatner actually looked like William Shatner and not what he looks like today. Secondly, my favorite was Saturday mornings with Bugs Bunny cartoons. Yes, that was my favorite TV and still continues to be better than any TV I see today. I don't know about yours. What is your favorite TV program of all? Comment down below and let me know what it is, all right? Well, let's jump in today. We're starting a brand new series called Power Play. So I want to share a passage with you. It's most likely a familiar passage. And then let's jump in and talk turkey about some questions you have about how you and I need to lead. So picking up in Matthew chapter 20, listen up to this passage. A little bit long, so listen up. As Jesus was going up to Jerusalem, he took the 12 disciples aside privately and told them that what was going to happen to him. Listen, he said, we're going up to Jerusalem where the Son of Man will be betrayed to the leading priests and the teachers of the religious law. They will sentence him to die. Then they will hand him over to the Romans to be mocked, flogged with a whip, and crucified. But on the third day he will be raised from the dead. Then the mother of James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came to Jesus and asked with her sons, and she knelt respectfully to ask a favor. What is your request? He asked, that's being Jesus. She replied, in your kingdom, please let my two sons sit in places of honor next to you, one on the right and one on the left. But Jesus answered by saying to them, you don't know what you're asking. Are you able to drink from the bitter cup of suffering I'm about to drink? Oh, yes, they replied, we are able. Jesus told them, you will indeed drink from my bitter cup. But I have no right to say to you, you can sit on my right or on my left. My Father has prepared those places for the ones he has chosen. When the 10 other disciples heard that James and John had what they had asked, they were indignant. And wouldn't you be if somebody's asking for stuff behind your back, huh? But Jesus called them together and said, by the way, that wasn't in the passage. Jesus called them and said, you know that the rules of this world, people lord over those under them. The officials flaunt their authority over those who are under them. But among you, it will be different. Whoever wants to be a leader among you must be the servant. And whoever wants to be first among you must become your slave. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve others and to give his life as a ransom for many. That's found in Matthew chapter 20 up through verse 28, starting at verse 20. So as we spend the next few weeks together, I want to spend some time looking at one of my favorite topics. And that is, how do you lead others and still keep your faith intact? So this morning, I want to share just some initial thoughts as we get started to leave you with and to think about until we get back together next time as we jump into this new series called Power Play. The first one is this. All of us, and I mean no matter who you are, all of us have power over someone. You may think you don't have power, but I'm telling you, if you're a wife, a mother, sister, brother, husband, voter, co-worker, or someone who's in a position of authority, whether you follow anyone or have yourself a relationship with anyone, you have power over someone. You have say at one point or another over that person's options or choices when it comes to how they relate to you. And so as a result of that, if someone looks to you for love or guidance or leadership or direction or friendship or decision making, you have power. There are no exceptions. All of us exercise some kind of power. Secondly, you may not want to recognize this, and you may even disagree with me, but the truth is universal, and it's critical for you and I to get this perspective. The power you have has been given to you. The power you have has been given to you. See, you're not as big a deal as you think. When Jesus stood before Pilate, Pilate prodded him to answer his questions. And when Jesus didn't answer and act the way that Pilate wanted, he made this statement. Don't you know I have the power to take your life or to spare it? And Jesus clarifies this little misunderstanding with Pilate when he responds, you would have no power unless it was given to you from above. Other versions say given to you by my Father, talking about God. And with that, Jesus kept his course and continued on acting the way he knew he should, responding the way he knew he should, and then allowed himself to be crucified. Allowed. Yes, that's what I said. You see, Jesus wasn't crucified because those people had power over him. Jesus was crucified because he gave up his power and allowed them to do that. Because you see, it was not Pilate's call. And I tell you this, it's the truth. It's not your call either. You don't have any power unless God has given you that power and allowed you to have it. And if you don't recognize it, then this next reality will hit you extremely hard. Since you don't have power, you really didn't give yourself the power you have, then you may not realize that at some point that power can be taken away. Yes, whether you realize it or not, since you did not give yourself the power you have, you really can't keep it. And it's true for all humans, politicians, preachers, bosses, business owners, millionaires, paupers, wives, husbands, police, military. Anyone who breathes has power, and someday it will be taken away. If you don't believe me, look into the eyes of a person whose body is being ravaged by cancer, whose life is slowly ebbing away, and you'll see someone who is often in a place where they can't feed themselves or have a hollow look on their face. And no matter how strong they were or the positions they've held before that moment, now they're in a place when their whole existence is waning and is absolutely dependent on someone else to care for them. Listen, I can't explain all the reasons why certain people have power. As I look at the religious leaders of Jesus' day, when I look at Pilate, when I look at those in the crowd hollering crucify, when I look at people today who seem to abuse power on every hand, I realize that even bad people have been given power for reasons that I may never understand and you may never understand this side of heaven. It's a hard truth, but it's a truth nonetheless. And that reminds me of this amazing and powerful truth. Just because you're powerful now doesn't mean it will always be that way. Don't you realize that you have no power unless it's been given to you, and someday it is going away. The way you live today will not be the way you live forever. So my question is, how will you then choose to use your power over others? Well, here's the last thought I want to share with you before we close our time together. Someday, whether you believe it or not, you will give an answer for how you use the power that you've been given. And since you will give an answer, wouldn't you like to start now asking yourself hard questions about how you will answer to God for the power he has allowed you to have, for the power that he has given you? Well, I tell you what, if you stay tuned in the weeks ahead, we will talk about how you can have power and how you can make sure that power is intact and your faith is intact, that you can serve Jesus Christ even in the middle of a power play. So before you go now, as we finish up this morning, tell me, this is this week's question, what is your favorite TV program of all time? Mine is Star Trek and Bugs Bunny cartoons. So comment down below and let me know what you're thinking. Don't forget to share Friday morning devotions with your family and friends. So I just tell you, have a great Friday now. Bye-bye for now and have a great, amazing weekend, okay? Take care.